I was a bad driver. I was a terrible driver.
Good world gone bad.
Welcome back to the channel, my loyal viewers. A bit of a different one this video. Oh, we are following a quite interesting load. It's a lot of cages, stillages. He's a lot lighter than me. Yeah, a bit of a different video. This is not a story time of my first day out on my own in a HGV, class 2. Bit of an interesting story as to the lead up to that day, shall I say? Because it was quite difficult for me to get my first job straight out the gate. So if you want to learn more about what I did, you know, how my struggles were getting the first job, stick around till the end of the video and I'll tell you at the end. But now the story of my first day in a class 2. My first day getting paid in a HGV. I'd like to say it was on my own. It was kind of on my own, but not for the whole day because, well, it's through agency. And first time going there, you know, signed all the paperwork a couple of days before to sign on with the agency, you know, as you know. Sent me to a food wholesaler just around the corner from my house at the time. Can't go wrong with that. And it's a highly respected company as well. So I turn up and I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I don't know where to go, I don't know who to speak to, and eventually I'll sort my way through it. And it was a bit of it was one of those mornings, shall we say. I think it was a Friday as well. One of those mornings where nothing seemed to go right. Like, not only for me, but for everyone. Because the wholesaler installed a new butchery department on the site. So hardly any of the lorries were loaded on time when they should have been. So the boys coming in for 4 o'clock were delayed until like 5:30. I was coming in 6. I think I ended up leaving about 7:30. And I was paired with this guy because all the agency staff tended to be double manned because the agency guy would drive and the second man who would actually work for the company would, you know how to sort things out and sort the deliveries out the back, because all we were doing was picking stock off pallets and then, you know, putting it in a big tray and then delivering it to the customer, just taking it in by hand. We were delivering to, you know, cafes, schools, nursing homes, pubs, you know, restaurants type things, etc. To be fair, when I was there, I enjoyed the job. I've been there many times after this. Oh, but that first day, man, that first day. Woo-hoo! Yeah, so anyway, my lorry wasn't ready, as I said. And I could say my lorry, yeah, you're driving that one, whatever the reg was. I think it was an Iveco 7.5 ton to begin with. Bit of a dodgy place to overtake, but okay. And he's got to slow down for the speed camera. I had to check what I was doing then. No, I'm doing 4 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour under the speed limit. I'm fine. So my lorry wasn't ready, 7.5 ton Iveco, and I was paired with this guy, and I was waiting for this guy to turn up, and nobody could tell me where he was. Nobody knew anything about him, pretty much. And I was like, okay, it's not a panic. Eventually, one of the managers comes out and tells me, "Oh, you're with so and so." I was like, "Yeah, that's the name I saw on the board. Yeah, I'm with him." Okay, been a couple of changes. The run we were doing was down in St. Clair's. The bloke I was with lives in St. Clair's, so I had to take the lorry and pick him up first from, not his house, but just outside the first drop. So I was like, yeah, okay, no problem. And, oh, by the way, we've changed your lorry. So they've changed me from the 7.5 ton. Bear in mind, this is my first time properly driving a Class 2. Properly driving a Class 2, I should say. Yeah, properly driving a Class 2 since I passed my test. And, oh yeah, by the way, we're changing from the 7.5 ton to the 18 tonner. And the 7.5 ton in question, I saw, was being loaded on one of the bays, one of the loading bays. Tiny, tiny, tiny little thing. And next door was the 18 tonner. Ooh, big, 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 big thing. I mean, if you ask me now, I would say 18 tonner, tiny thing. But at the time, oh my god, that put the fear of God into me. This was one of the days where literally everything could go wrong. Right, so we were late starting, put my stuff in the lorry, did daily checks, and well, started doing daily checks, all that. I didn't start the engine, but I put the lights on, put the hazards on, blah 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 blah, just to check them, innit? So, and just walking around the vehicle, checking the tyres. Next thing I know, this guy comes running out, like sprinting out towards me. And as I'm checking the tyres, and he's like, "Oh, mate! I'm like, "What? What have I done? There's people in the back." I know. Don't drive off yet. I'm not. Oh, okay. We saw the lights and we thought, oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I didn't know, did I? Because when I turned the side lights on, apparently the interior lights of the lorry came up, so they crapped themselves basically. So no, engine's not on. It's fine. Like, I know it's my first day, but I knew that. Don't drive off. Anyway, so that happened. They eventually loaded the lorry, a bit late. Pulls off the bay. And I'm like, yeah, ready to go to St. Clair's. I have no idea how to get to St. Clair's. No. If you tell me how to get to the bit that we were located in Croissants, which is at the end of the M4. And it's literally dual carriageway and a couple of straight over roundabouts. That's it to get to St. Clair's from Croissants. Because I didn't know this at the time. My first day out in a HGV. I don't know how to get to places. But at the time I had a little TomTom car sat nav. And I think, oh, he's going up there. I know exactly where he's going. He's going to what? He's going to my drop at Llangamach Wells, I bet you. I've never gone that way. Anyway, sorry, tangent. Yeah. So a little TomTom car sat nav, which was, I think at the time, this was either 2014 or 2015. I'm talking about now. And I think the car sat nav was genuinely from about 2003. No, I had the paperwork and I typed in the address of the first drop and he said, yeah, you should see him on the high street just before. And I was like, okay. So I'm following this little car sat nav. And, sorry, dodgy corner. There we go. Thankfully there's no low bridges, no weight limits at all. Again, this is the simple way to get to St. Clair's from Croissants, but I was clueless. I was panicking. This is my first time out on my own in a lorry. So following that, and then I realise, what's that symbol on the dash? I haven't put my tachograph card in. Thankfully I'm still in the grounds of the depot at this point, so okay, legally it's fine, but just put the tacho card in. Didn't do a manual entry because at this point I had no clue what was going on. Carry on, St. Clair's. I find the guy after a bit of drama. I say a bit of drama. Find the guy and he tells me that we should wait exactly where we are and not proceed any further because apparently there was some milk that was left off my lorry at the depot. Oh, they finished the roadworks in this bit. Oh, thank God for that. I hate stopping there. Sorry, tangent. So we waited for another lorry who was coming past our way, who was loaded after me to bring us literally a couple of cartons of milk. like 8 pints of milk, if that. And then we proceeded to the first drop, which is a care home around the corner. And this care home, definitely not suited for 18 tonners. Like I said, they upgraded us from the 7.5 ton, which I think the payload for them was about, because they were fridge lorries, maybe 1.1 ton? No, 900 kilos on the 7.5 ton, something like that. I think the 18 tonner could carry about 4 or 5 ton. I'm not sure. In a car park at this care home, we do the drop. It's a bit tight. I get turned around. Takes a bit of time, but you know, just to chill out. It takes a bit of time. I get turned around on the way out. Oh, it's tight on the way out. First drop. No, I think we had about 23 drops on altogether. Squeezing out, squeezing out. But anyway, we carry on. Like I said, do a couple of drops around St. Clair's, the town. Then we start doing a few out in the sticks. And for the next 2 hours, I just keep my head down. He's handing me stuff off the pallets, putting them on the back of the lorry, and I'm just taking them in the cafe or restaurant, whatever we drop to. 2 hours, we've done about 7 or 8 drops, whatever it is. And then start doing a bit more distance now. And we start coming up and down these hills. No, sorry, before that, we get a drop to a farm. And the bloke I'm with, he does this run every Friday. He knows where every drop is. He knows pretty much what every drop has. He knows the ins and outs of every single one. But this farm's a bit of a new one for him. And this farm, they ordered a pallet. This farm was one of the reasons why they swapped us to the 18 ton. They had a pallet of coffee beans in 25 kilo bags. A whole pallet of coffee beans. And I think they requested this pallet to be at the back doors so they can off it off with a telehandler. It wasn't loaded on the back doors. It was loaded about 3 pallets into the lorry. So we had to load every single bag off this pallet. I think there was about 56 bags, something like that. Unload every single one of them off by hand, and they got a pallet from the farm. And because this pallet was sort of in the middle of the lorry, should we say, next drop was Folly Farm Holiday Park, and they had 3 big ones right at the back doors. These ones they could actually get from the back doors with a telehandler. Whoop, easy drop, easy drop. Except hills, new driver, pallet in the middle, no longer there. In other words, that pallet is no longer supporting the pallet behind it when I brake a bit harsh. So 2 of the pallets in the back, destined for Folly Farm Holiday Park, went over. And when they opened the back doors, my heart just sank. Because there was mayonnaise everywhere. And I mean everywhere. You know those little like sandwich filling pits where you just got like mayonnaise with like and chunks of bacon and all that, chicken chunks and everything, you know, those type of things, sandwich fillings. Oh, it was everywhere. Pots, lids of the pots come off. Oh. I opened the doors and I was like, I am so sorry. And I just took a step back. I think about 4 people from Folly Farm were just trying to salvage what they could of these. They took the whole delivery. which is I'm very surprised about. Just trying to salvage what they can. Like, I don't think they used the whole delivery, but they took it. And this other guy, they're just trying to, they're like, Scott, just stand over there, just don't do anything. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. So this is about halfway through the day now, about 10 drops in, whatever it is. Right, so far I've driven without a tachograph card. I've scared people into thinking I'm driving off the bay. What else can go wrong? Well, a couple of drops again. I don't know if you know St. Clair's and the area surrounding it, Narberth, Whitland, and tiny villages in between. Single track roads ain't the best. And eventually we come to an arch bridge. And the guy I'm with, I don't think he's got a lot of confidence in me at this point. And he's like, Scott, in the middle of the road as you go underneath this bridge, okay? It's an arch bridge, you'll hit the sides. Like, yeah, I know. Because this I actually did know, surprisingly. Anyway, so we go underneath the arch bridge, did not hit anything. I know you expected me to say I hit it, I did not hit it. I've never hit a low bridge in my life. So we go underneath the bridge and carry on a bit. Rose tightens. I was like, yeah, see ya, see boy? Nothing to worry about. As I say this, I venture a little bitty too far to the left on the road. And I slightly slip off the road with a lorry. Slightly. Only slightly. So the back wheels have kind of just like shoo into the little, not really a ditch, because if it was a ditch we would have got stuck, if not worse. But in the grass, shall we say. Good thing it was a dry day. So we're slipping slightly, so I'm just like whoo, controlling, keeping control, like proper white knuckles at that point. So I like, oh, and I look over at my driver's mate, and he's grabbing the handle, he's grabbing his seat, he's grabbing anything he can grab. And I've genuinely never seen anyone before or after that so scared. Whew, nearly lost it then. And I did that 2 more times that day. I've never done it since. So I was a bad driver. I was a terrible driver. In those early days, I was especially that day, I was a terrible driver. Like, I genuinely, still to this day, feel so bad for him. Now, he's been out with me like a few times after that, and part of me could tell he's like, he doesn't want to be with me. He doesn't want me as his driver. Like, I was that agency driver. That agency driver who cannot drive. I do have sympathy for some agency drivers based on my own experience, knowing how bad I was. Like, I look back now and laugh, but it was really no laughing matter. I was bad. But at the end of the day, got the drops done. No one got hurt. No damage, apart from the scratch, which I'm still not 100% convinced I caused. And there were a few occasions as well that day where he's like, right, pull up here, reverse into that car park, and it's like literally a driveway to someone's house, like that kind of width. And me, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I genuinely do not feel confident doing that. And he's like, oh, really? Okay, fair enough. So we unload from the road. But you could fit a lorry down there, because I've done those drops since, and I've gone down there in the lorry when I've gained a bit more confidence in myself, and probably gained more ability, to be fair. But on that day, like, after what we've already been through, no. And to be fair, I was 100% expecting never to be sent back to that company. I was expecting them to call me up and saying, we don't want you anymore, never come back to us. But that turned into a very regular job for me. And like I said, I spent, I think it was about 3-4 months after that. I actually spent a whole week with that guy on different runs. So I think he trusted me a bit more at the end. But that first day, I was terrible. And I've been getting comments on my recent videos saying, Scott, fair play, you're a good driver. And in the back of my mind, I'm just like, am I? I don't think I am. Well, it definitely wasn't in the past anyway. At least I can put the lorry in a small gap without falling off the edge now. Yeah. But getting that first job, I promised you a little story. Well, that was the story of my first day, pretty much. It was a long day. I think it was a good 12-hour shift in the end, between the delays of leaving the depot in the first place and me not really knowing what I'm doing, and everything else that went on. So it was a long old day in the end. I know darkness was definitely upon us at the end, shall we say. But yeah, it was quite a struggle getting the first job anyway. I promise you how I ended up getting the first job. So if you're new, I passed my test in 2013, my class 2. And it was quite a while after that before I actually got my first paying job. Purely because no experience. So if you just pass your test, you're new, you've got no experience, this is what will happen to me. Basically, I applied for jobs, wasn't happening. I was on Indeed, on various websites, applying for every single job I could have. 99% of the time, never heard back from them. Didn't hear a peep. Not even the agencies. Eventually I got a call from one agency saying, yeah, come sign up for us. Okay, went to sign up for them. Nothing came from that. Until my friend's boyfriend, who works at a general haulier down local, he said, oh, you're a class 2 driver. Oh, we're looking for drivers. I'll put in a good word for you. Oh, happy days. So, application form, off that goes. I get a call. We'd like to give you an assessment drive. Happy days! Happy days! Yeah. This was before the story I just told you. So this time genuinely was the first time I'd driven class 2 since my test. I did not know what the hell I was doing. But anyway, in the assessment drive, it was a manual, and it was the same 8-speed manual that I passed my test in. So I'm thinking, yes, happy days, I can win. I'm in for a winner here, like. One of the drivers goes up with assessment, just see how I can drive in it. I failed. Basically, we came to a roundabout at one point. It was basically just a loop with a town he was taking me on. But he came to this roundabout. You could either go straight on, down the bypass, or turn right into like a sort of housing estate. And he said, turn left, meaning go straight on. In my head, in my nervous head, all I heard was turn. So I turned right into the housing estate. And he just lost it. Woohoo! He lost it. Again, no damage, nothing, didn't hit anything, we got out of there, no problem, but because of that he failed me, which I'd like to say was unfair, but no, he was totally just in doing that. So I didn't end up getting that job, but they did offer me work experience. which was just basically me being going out with one of their drivers, unpaid work experience. I had to think about it. At the time I was working in retail. My contracted was 7 hours over 2 days. It was awful. So I thought, alright, I work Tuesday and Thursday. Why not? What have I got to lose? I'll go out with one of your drivers Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's what I did. Class 2 multi-drop on one of the many pallet networks. And all I was doing, I wasn't allowed to drive because I wasn't technically an employee. I wasn't allowed to drive, so I didn't get any driving work experience, which is, at the end of the day, what I thought I was there for, but seeing what the job was like, basically. Alright, fair enough. So I did that, helping the driver unload with the pump truck now and again. But most of the time, all I did was undo up the curtains and a couple of straps now and again. So I did that for 2 weeks. And fair play to the company, they did not need to give me that opportunity whatsoever. Because, to be honest with you, most of the time I was just in the way. Even one time, I think it was on a Wednesday, my actual work, the shop, rung me up. I say, Scott, we've got some overtime to do. Do you want the shift? And I was like, oh yeah, I'd like to, but you know, I'm out with the driver and all that. And he just goes to me, oh, I'll take you back, don't worry about it. If you want to go, you can go. It's like, oh, happy days. So he took an hour out of his day just to shoot me back to the depot so I can go home and get changed and go do my actual job. Very grateful for that. Yeah, so like I said, I did that job for about 2 weeks. And that was enough. All of a sudden, everywhere I started applying to, because I put this on my CV, innit? This work experience. Got a call from an agency. I was saying, oh, I see you've got work experience doing driver's mate. I was like, yeah, just done last 2 weeks now. Oh, happy days. You got a class 2 license as well, do you? Yeah, I got a class 2 license. Oh, tidy, we've got a job for you in so and so. Happy days. And just like that, I was employed by an agency. At first it was slow going. They were giving me about 3 shifts a week, which then turned into a more or less full-time job, 5 shifts a week, sometimes 6 if I wanted it. On class 2. Just that little bit of experience. That's all people generally ask for. Also, if you're struggling to find work, since I've obviously changed jobs a couple of times now, since the early days, I've discovered the best way you'll actually find work is to go to the company and speak to them yourself. Don't send them a CV online. I mean, do that, but don't expect that to be what you need to do. That be the end all. That be the be all and end all of actually applying for a job. No, actually go there physically in person, ask to speak to the transport manager or whoever, and just have a chat with them. Just let them know what you're about, and see if they've got any vacancies. Worst they can say is no. They might put you on a list, and they'll give you a call in a couple of weeks if something becomes available. They might not. I know where it's happened with a few people, and including myself, where we've heard whoever's recruiting, I've gone down there in person, say, can I speak to whoever, innit? So, hey, just do that, okay? So, heard you looking for a driver? It's like, yeah, okay, where have you driven before? So, tell them what you've done before, or your new pass, whatever. I say, alright then. Fancy starting Monday? I was like, yeah, sound. And that's it. So, a little bit of story time for you. A little bit of a different video. I've wanted to actually tell that story for a long time. I wanted to do it on a journey along this road. It's been miserable today, all day. And now oh, that's good timing. Apparently my camera's overheated. But it's been miserable today. But the sun's come out now and I'm so happy. because I got this drop now and I'm not going to get wet. So thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe if you like this format of video. If you want to see more story time, I've got a couple more. First day on class 1, that's a bit of a woohoo one as well. Yeah, so I was not a good driver back in the day. I had to learn hard and fast. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. What do you want to hear next? And I'll see you in the next one.